Imagine a tiny drone buzzing silently through the night sky, slipping past Russia's vaunted air defenses, traveling over 700 kilometers. That's 435 miles. Straight into the heart of enemy territory. It slams into one of Russia's massive oil refineries, igniting a massive fireball that lights up the horizon. This isn't Hollywood. This is Ukraine's latest masterstroke in the war against Putin's invasion. Today we're diving deep into this game-changing attack on the slavneft yanos refinery in Yaroslavl, what it means for Russia's war economy, and why it's a turning point in this brutal conflict. Stick around, because we'll uncover the tech behind these long-range killers, Russia's desperate scramble to respond, and how President Trump's administration might tip the scales. Hit that like button if you're ready for the full breakdown, and subscribe for daily geopolitical updates. No faces, just fact. On December 12, 2025, Ukraine's defense forces unleashed a pinpoint drone assault on the slavneft yanos oil refinery in Russia's Yaroslavl region, over 700 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. This beast of a facility, one of Russia's top 5 largest, processes up to 15 million tons of oil and condensate annually, churning out fuel that directly feeds Putin's invading army. Residents heard at least 7 thunderous explosions rocking the city, followed by reports of raging fires at the plant, a direct hit that sent black smoke billowing into the pre-dawn sky. Ukraine's general staff confirmed the operation via telegram, calling it a deliberate strike on a key supplier to Russian occupation forces. Eyewitness videos captured the chaos, drones piercing the darkness, air raid sirens wailing, and flames devouring critical infrastructure. This wasn't a lucky shot. It's part of Ukraine's escalating deep strike doctrine, where homegrown drones bypass front lines to gut Russia's economic backbone. Even Moscow's Mayor Sergei Sobyanin admitted intercepting 8 incoming drones near the capital, underscoring how close these attacks are getting to the Kremlin's doorstep. Why Yaroslavl? Location matters. Nestled deep in central Russia, it's far beyond typical missile range, forcing Russia to spread thin its S-400 defenses across a vast territory. The refinery's damage still under assessment, but early reports suggest processing units crippled, echoing prior hits that sidelined facilities for weeks or months. This single blow disrupts not just military fuel, but civilian supplies, hiking prices and sowing panic in Russian cities. Ukraine's drones aren't your backyard hobby kits. These are long-range marvels with AI-guided navigation, satellite uplinks, and payloads packing enough punch to shred steel. Traveling 435 miles demands endurance. Think lightweight composites, efficient electric motors, and swarming tactics overwhelming defenses. In this Yaroslavl op, likely a dozen or more drones saturated the airspace, with decoys drawing fire while killers slip through. This builds on a string of successes. Just weeks earlier, Ukraine torched 5 refineries in one night, including Lukoil's Caspian rig, their first offshore oil strike. Before that, Orsneft in Orenburg, 1,500 kilometers away, saw drones crash inside, spewing smoke from its 6.6 million-ton capacity plant producing jet fuel and diesel. Azot chemical plants, makers of explosives-grade ammonium nitrate, got hammered too, halting fertilizer and bomb production. Reuters tallies show these strikes slashed Russian refining by 1.721% at peaks, with gasoline output down 10%. Picture the strategy. Drones cost thousands. Refineries, billions to rebuild. Russia imports parts under sanctions, so repairs drag into 2026. Ukraine's unmanned systems forces, led by commanders like Magyar Brovdi, claim mastery over this asymmetry. Cheap tech bleeding Putin's $100 billion oil revenue dry. As winter bites, frozen repair crews face fuel shortages of their own making. Oil isn't just Putin's piggy bank. It's the lifeblood of tanks, jets, and trucks invading Ukraine. Slavneft yanos fuels the front lines in Donetsk and beyond, so this hit starves artillery barrages and troop movements. Cumulative damage? Ukraine's 2025 campaign, from Kurishi's massive blaze to Tuapse's New Year's Eve inferno, has idled units processing millions of barrels daily. Economically, it's carnage. Exports tanked, forcing production cuts and fuel rationing. Domestically, pump prices spike, sparking unrest. Remember the 10% gasoline drop? Multiply that nationwide. Putin diverts air defenses from Ukraine's skies to protect Siberian pumps, weakening frontline shields. And with President Trump back in the White House since January 2025, whispers of tighter sanctions loom, squeezing Russia's shadow fleet of tankers. Russia's response? Bluster. Governors downplay fires as debris, but videos don't lie. Casualties minimal so far, but morale cracks as blackouts from retaliatory strikes pale against Ukraine's precision. This refinery raid signals Moscow's war machine burns, literally, as Kyiv flips the script from defense to economic warfare. Worldwide, eyes lock on oil benchmark. Russian refining outages push Brent crude volatility, benefiting U.S. shale, but hiking European gas bills. India and China, big buyers of discounted Urals crude, face supply hiccups, rippling to your gas station. Geopolitically, NATO watches. Ukraine's reach proves drones democratize deep strikes, a blueprint for Taiwan or Middle East flashpoint. Under Trump 2.0, expect arms flows. More ATACMS F-16S, but peace talks too as Moscow bleeds cash. Ukraine's bet, starve the bear before winter thaws negotiations. This Yaroslavl blaze isn't isolated. It's the crescendo of Ukraine's drone blitz, projecting power 435 miles deep and eroding Putin's invasion sustainability. Russia scrambles, markets jitter, and Kyiv gains leverage heading into 2026. What do you think? Can drones end this war? Drop comments below. Will Trump broker peace or double down? Smash like if Ukraine's hitting back hard resonates, subscribe for faceless deep dives into global hotspots, and ring the bell. Next, Middle East escalations. Turn this into your daily intel fix. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant.